What is going on, everybody? It's me, Severin7, and today I'm going to be doing something a little different. I'm going to be playing in Spotlight Series Planetary Rotation in Orlando the weekend of August 29th, and I've been desperately seeking a deck to play in this event, and I've finally settled on one. And here it is, Teamer Ferocious. Now, I know normally I don't play super meta decks or anything like that, but that's part of the reason I chose this, because it's not a super meta deck, but it went to the top 8 of the Arena Championship in a full field full of VV, piloted by Marvin Cheong. And this deck is just such a blast, and I have been messing around with it and having a good time with it. This is the exact list that he played, although I do think I plan to make a few changes before the open, but I played this list and tested it and got comfortable with it, and that's what's going to be in the recording. So let's just go over the deck list really quickly and explain what the game plan is. So the deck is built around Teamer Battle Crier. So this is our combo enabling card. It's a Teamer 3-drop, 4/3. During your turn, spells you cast cost 1 less to cast for each creature you control with power 4 or greater. So for each creature we have, it's going to reduce our mana costs by 1 colorless mana. Now we kind of cheat on this a little bit with things like Anti-Causal Vestige and Roaming Throne, because these can be completely free if we have enough creatures on the battlefield. And our goal is to get an Outcast Trailblazer plotted early, hopefully on turn 2 with the help of Llanowar Elves. Outcast Trailblazer adds a mana of any color when it enters, and whenever another creature we control with power 4 or greater enters, we draw a card. So this puts us in a position where we can literally just kind of storm off on as early as turn 3, but typically turn 4. So the idea is that we turn 2 plot a Trailblazer, turn 3 we can go off by playing a Teamer Battle Crier. Well, we can't win on turn 3, but we can at least get a pretty oppressive board set up on turn 3 by playing a Battle Crier. So then we can play a Throne, and we can either name Human or Druid to draw double cards off of Trailblazer, or we can name Dragon if we've already got a Dragon in hand and we want to just win by dealing a ton of damage with Dragonhawk Fate's Tempest triggered ability, which is that when it enters or attacks, we exile the top X cards of our library, where X is the number of creatures we control with power 4 or greater. You may play those cards till your next end step, but at the beginning of your next end step, Dragonhawk deals 2 damage to each opponent for each of those cards that are still exiled. So if we can, typically on turn 4 we can just go ham and, you know, go Trailblazer, Battle Crier into Roaming Throne, naming Dragon, and then casting, you know, Esper Origins from our graveyard, or maybe we cast a Lumbering World Wagon earlier. We can animate that. We can play Anti-Causal Vestige for its warp cost for free, because that counts as casting, so that warp cost is reduced. And then playing a Dragonhawk with 4 other creatures on the battlefield, which is very easy on turn 4, nets us double triggers, which would get us 5 cards twice, and that would equal 20 damage. So we can literally just win without attacking, without any damage, with Dragonhawk alone, by going Trailblazer, Battle Cry, Roaming Throne, any other 4 power creature, and then Dragonhawk. So it's a very, very cool deck. We also have Cactus Folk Sure Shot to kind of give us some haste to, you know, even get double triggers with Dragonhawk if we don't have a Roaming Throne, because it'll get the enters the battlefield trigger plus the attacking trigger. We also have Devastating Onslaught, because this works really well with Teamer Battle Crier, because all that colorless mana reduction means that we can cast this for super cheap and make a bunch of copies of Roaming Thrones or Battle Criers or Vestiges or whatever we have on the battlefield, and attack for a big lethal attack. Esper Origins is a nice way to set up our draws, gain us some life in the early game, and then we can flash it back from the graveyard for as little as 1 mana if we've got enough stuff on the battlefield with Battle Crier. A single copy of Bounce Off in the list, I'm assuming, as a way to either protect our things or get something out of the way if we need to. A nice Teamer land base, which I think maybe I'm not going to play 4 starting towns in my paper version of the deck, just because they're very expensive right now, and I don't think it's necessary. I think you can play another Botanical Sanctum, and then maybe the blue-red Firebluff Canal. In the sideboard, we have 2 Fire Magics to help deal with token go wide strategies. We've got Torch the Towers to help deal with pesky creatures with death triggers. We've got Ghost Vacuums to help deal with graveyards. Dissection Tool as a way to gain some life. So I'm assuming that most of the time I sided in against like red aggro, things like that. We've got Disdainful Stroke and Negate to help with control matchups, Scrap Shooters to help against VV Cauldron, as well as any other enchantment-based strategies, Sirach to put in against anything that's, you know, our stuff's getting countered, or there are a lot of targeted removal. Ugin Eye of the Storms is just great in any kind of mid-range matchup where we can, you know, cast him for free in the late game and exile a bunch of stuff, because we do actually have quite a few colorless things in Roaming Throne and Anti-Costal Vestige. And then 2 Spectral Denials as a cheap 1-mana way to counter things for up. You know, we can have a lot of stuff on the battlefield and end up countering just for 1 blue mana and making them pay 3 or 4 or 5 extra mana, which a lot of times they can't do. And the deck just feels great. So we're gonna play a few games with it, and then I'm gonna share all the stats from all the testing and playing I've done, the events that I've run. But I just want to show the deck in action. So let's go ahead and get into that. But first, if you think that this content is awesome and you like this kind of stuff and you'd like to see me play some more competitive lists occasionally, please let me know in the comments, because I'd like to do stuff like this a little bit more often, but obviously I've branded myself as a brewer and I want to become, you know, stay a brewer. But this is just such a cool brew, and even though I didn't come up with this is just such a fun deck, and I love showcasing stuff like this for you guys, and I'm really excited to play this at the Spotlight. So let's get into those games. Please make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the post-game round. All right, time to play some Temur Ferocious. I'm really excited to share this deck with you guys. I know that you've probably seen it, but this is the deck I think I'm going to be taking to the Spotlight Series Open, so I figured I'd make a video about it since I've been practicing with it a lot. And this hand looks okay going on the draw here. Nothing crazy, but we got removal. Forest for the opponent, so it's the Lesnia something. Overlord of the Monsters, sure. I too can rampity ramp. Let's go get a red. Forest for the opponent. And they play an Ouroboros. That is annoying. I forgot to hold full control. Cost myself 2 damage there. Get in for 6, pay him for 2. Gotta not make little mistakes like that. The difference about playing in paper and arena is it's a lot easier to communicate what you want to do on arena. Is this all he has? Because this is definitely game if that's the case. Oh wow, alright. Right? That should be game. Well, maybe not game. Let me get the exact math here. So that's 5. He's taking 9, 10, 11, 12. Not quite lethal. 1 damage off. But we're in a very good spot. It should be very difficult for him to come back from this spot. There we go. All right. So I'm assuming it's Naya Yuna, and we saw Fabled Passage. I didn't see any white, or I mean red mana, so maybe it is just Selesnya Yuna. So we're gonna take Spectral Denial, Disdainful Strokes, probably want the Ghost Vacuums and the Scrap Shooters, and an Ugin. This is a big sideboard here, but we're gonna take out the Bounce Offs, the Abrades, one of these, one of these, one of these, and one of these, and a World Wagon, and call it a day. It's only really a big sideboard because we're siding in scrap shooters, but those are basically just additional 4-power creatures anyway, so that's kind of just swapping out parts of our plan for more utility. This is not a good hand on the draw. This isn't really great either. I'm not going to go to 5 though, because this isn't like horrible. Innkeeper's Talent, sure. I'd really like some removal, but man, opponent is missing land drops. That was probably the best thing we could have asked for right there. Opponent finds land, gets down their Hauntwoods. Alright, so we're gonna get World Wagon down and then we'll try to combo kill him next turn. We need more red mana. We should be able to dump our hand next turn though. Hopefully. Just level it all up, bro. Sure. Alright, we're good. We're golden. We are a go. Let's not play the starting town in case we draw an untapped land. Let's make another red, and then we're gonna use that and green and blue. Battle Crier. Draw a card. Ghost Vacuum, nice. Animate World Wagon. Play Visage. Draw a card. Play another Visage. Draw a card. Untapped land. Dragonhawk. Draw a card. Ghost Vacuum. Get in. Go get another red. Opponent blocks. Wisely. Alright. They take 14. We draw. We get a Trailblazer. Draw. Draw. Scrap Shooter. Pretty sure that locks it up. It's amazing what this deck can do in one turn. Split up doesn't solve their problem. It definitely helps, but it does not solve it. And even if they remove something else, yeah. We've just got a handful of goodies, so GG. I'm ready. It's Juice Man. Number 600 Mythic. Nice. Let's whoop it. Hopefully that means they're playing something meta-y. This is very slow. This is better. Not a lot better, but it is better. I think we put back... I don't know, maybe we put back the Forest. We've got Esper Origins to help us set up our draws, so... And we drew the Forest again anyway. Alright, Swamp and Sunset Saboteur. That is a problem. They are going to kill us quite quickly with that. Let's keep that on top. This card is surprisingly annoying. It's hard to block. It's got a decent ward cost. Case of the Stash Skeleton. Interesting. Alright, let's get down World Wagon. Get some red. Opponent gets in. Are they missing land drops? Rock Curse, Rock Fashion. Alright, man, they're just going for it. Alright. But we did just draw an interesting card that might let us do some things. Steamer Battle Crier. This gains us 2 life, takes us up to 14. And we get in with the World Wagon. Go fetch a green. So we can't block the Skeleton or the Saboteur. Let's say he has removal. That's 5, 9, 10, 11. So we're still at 1. I'm going to take it and just go to 1 here. I hope he doesn't have a way to drain me that last 1 damage. Target opponent, choose a non-land. Okay. If he's smart, he takes Cactus Sure Shot. Yeah. Does he have something else to play? Because he's got to either remove something or put down a blocker. Trajectory, huh? Okay. That does suck. And Cecil, wow. That was like a perfect sequence for him. Oh, we're dead. The good news is this matchup probably gets better after sideboard. We could draw something helpful here, but doesn't look like we're gonna. All right. We'll let them get their damage in. All right, let's shore up this match. So, do I really care about Rock Sasha enough to put in Ghost Vacuums? Probably not. Torches are good. Fire Magics are good. Dissection Tools is good. Ugin is... maybe not Ugin. And maybe Spectral Denials. Bounce Offs aren't that great. Maybe we don't need this much stuff to come in. I just want a way to deal with the Saboteur that doesn't cause us to discard. So maybe Torch isn't... Maybe we just stick with a Braid and Fire Magic. Because we're not going to have a lot of things to sacrifice to Torch anyway. I almost wonder if Torch should be... if Torch the Tower should be... Burst Lightning. Because it's rare that we actually want to sacrifice something to Torch to deal the 3. This is a much better looking hand, although our opponent is definitely playing Tragic Trajectories, which means we might lose our Llanowar Elves. Cecil, alright, we actually get to do the thing. Opponent deals 2, takes 2, plays a Saboteur. Alright, red. Battle Crier. Throne on Blazer. Druid. Draw 2 cards. 1, 2. And we have another Battle Crier for next turn if he removes this one. He should have a hard time removing Throne since he does not have enough mana. I'll just take it. I figured that that was what was going to happen. Opponent puts himself down to 16. Beautiful. Let me tap this mana correctly. Let's tap this. Let's tap this. Let's tap this. Draw some cards. Play this. Draw some cards. Play Roaming Throne on Dragon. Just draw all the cards. Let's see you work through this. Draw some more cards. Draw some more cards. Get a World Wagon. I'd say that was a pretty decent turn. Should be pretty hard for him to do anything with 2 mana. Yep, alright. On to game 3. Let's do that again. Let's do it again. We are waiting on our opponent. This is a bad hand. This is not great, but it's better. We'll put back the island and we'll go fetch it with a World Wagon. Cecil. Probably should have mulliganed to 5, to be honest, but I just... My gosh, he's just had the nut draw every game so far. Alright, come on, fire magic somewhere. I mean, a braid deals with it. Intimidation tactics snatches Dragonhawk or Lumbering World Wagon. Tiny Bones Pickpocket, sure. I don't want to give him a World Wagon. Case. We're definitely in trouble here. Well, we can kind of start getting a little bit... I mean, our opponent is missing land drops, which helps, but... this lets us get some life back. He can't cast Throne. He probably has removal for the World Wagon, but I'm gonna go for it anyway. Yep. It's really annoying because now the Cecil flips. Honestly, we just got unlucky with a slow hand and our opponent having a really aggressive one. I probably should have mulliganed to 5, to be honest, but I didn't want to risk not having lands. I'm not quite sure if there is a way we get out of this, but I mean, we do get a lot of mana next turn if he doesn't remove this. Okay, he removed it. So we're screwed, basically. Oh, well. GG. Manuel Danager. Looks like a good hand to me. Opponent's going first, though, so might lose our elves on one, but we're going to keep it anyway. No. Got to get these starting towns down early so we don't have them coming in tapped later. Oh, so rude. So what is this, just guy control? This might be a tough matchup pre-board, but post-board we should be in a good spot. Wonder if he's missing. Oh, he missed a land drop. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. SpaghettiOs. That's good news for us. That's what you get for lightning helixing the elves, man. They kept a risky hand. There's a land. Might be too late, though. Draw some cards, draw some cards. See, I say that, and then they're going to Day of Judgment me right here. They're going to rip their fourth land, no problem. Day of Judgment. Make me cry. Oh, there's the fourth land. No day, though. Another battle crier. Well, they're not countering anything yet. Alright, well that they have to counter, right? And then if they don't, I get to play Dragonhawk anyway. They have to do something here. Okay, 3 steps. But that means I get to play Dragonhawk. And then they take 10, so they're at 4. If they wipe the board, yeah. All right, we got through game 1. Granted, they were missing land drops, but that was their own choice. So we want Spectral Denials, Negates, Disdainful Strokes, Ugins. We might want Ghost back. No, I think the counters are enough. So Bounce Off, bad. Abrade, bad. Onslaught's probably pretty good here. Sure Shot, bad. Let's take out a Whirl Wagon. Devastating Onslaught's probably going to be how we win on a turn where they tap out finally. I mean, we have several ways to win, but that is a very good way to win. Opponent goes first. They take a mulligan. Learning a lesson from last game. I tell you what, sometimes mulligan decisions are literally the entire game. There's one thing I've learned over the years, and as I showed in one of my matches prior to this, you know, it's just really important to make sure that you're aggressively mulliganing for what you think is going to work the best. Well, we don't need another throne. One throne's good enough. Stock up. Opponent's tapping out, letting us get our ramp on. That's good news. Oh, they're Esper. Wait. Are they like 4-color control or something? They were playing red mana last game, weren't they? We need more red mana. Always more red mana. In most cases, we just want lots and lots of red mana. I think I'm gonna attempt to get Esper Origins down. They let it go. We'll take Trailblazer and we'll keep both those things. We're gonna draw the Trailblazer off the summon, and then if he removes the World Wagon, then that's just the news. Looks like that's what's happening. Get lost. No, my wagon! It's lost. Consult star charts, yep. Opponent picks a card that they like. There's a red mana. What is this? Why are they playing black? That's the question. We have a lot of mana here. I'm gonna play Trailblazer here. And then I'm gonna play a throne. That is probably not resolving, it looks like. I think we're negating that. Let's do Druid so we refill our hand. Get in for 4. If he has a board clear here, at least we have a way to rebuild. It looks like he milled something. Milled a Shadowy Backstreet off his Surveil. He's gonna get lost to Trailblazer. And I don't even know if that was the right call there. Get in for 6. Get a Dragonhawk on the field here. That gives us 4 damage that he can't do anything about. Ooh, and a great thing to do next turn. Yeah, sure. We get these till next turn, so we might not even need the damage from them. We might just be able to win with the onslaught. Clever, but that can't be countered. All right, can we win from here is the question. Trailblazer. Red mana. How many can we make? 2 copies? That would be 12. And that leaves us with 1 blue open for denial. X1, counter the no more lies. Make 2 copies of Trailblazer. Draw a bunch of cards. Make a bunch of mana. Attack for a lot. We did it! Man, this deck is awesome. All right, and we're back for the post-game wrap-up. So I've been playing this game, playing this deck in between recording for quite a while. My ladder matches were sitting at 17 and 12, or a 59% win rate, which is pretty decent. You know, like when you play a lot more games with stuff, you tend to find yourself somewhere in the 50s range, and 59 is pretty decent. But if you include my events that I've done with this, I've played this in 2 events. We are 9-1 in standard events, so very, very solid win rate. This would be if I'd played, you know, if I went 9-1 at the tournament, you know, that would put me in day 2. So overall, a 65% win rate if you include these. So it's a very strong deck. It's really, really cool. I mean, it definitely has its weaknesses. Just in the fact that it doesn't have a ton of early game plays. But what I love about this deck is that it can be so unbelievably explosive. And in a format full of VV Cauldron, that's kind of what you need. You need a deck that can just go over the top of their crazy plays. And this is a deck that feels like it can do it. You know, if we have a good draw where we go turn 1 Llanowar Elves, turn 2 Plot Trailblazer, turn 3 Battle Crier, and they are too busy playing their Profts and playing their Cauldrons and not holding up removal, we can literally just win out of nowhere, and a lot of times with counter backup. So the deck just feels incredible. It's such a blast to play. In my opinion, I'm thinking about taking 2 of the starting towns and making them 1 Botanical Sanctum and 1 Spire Bluff Canal. If you want to play a deck like this in best of 3, I highly recommend it. In paper, it's a little expensive. The Roaming Thrones are like 130 bucks by themselves, and they are quite necessary. So if you want to play this in paper, it might be a little bit of a stretch if you don't already have the Roaming Thrones, but on Arena, rare wild cards aren't that hard to come by, and this is a majority of the cards are all rares. Dragonhawk is the only mythic in the main deck, with Ugin being in the sideboard as a main as a mythic, and then Sirach is a mythic, I think. No, he's a rare. He's a rare. So only a couple mythics in the deck, mostly rares. So we like that. And yeah, so I'm really excited to play this, and I know this is different than what I normally do. I know that I'm usually playing best of 1, so for those of you who are usually watching my best of 1 content, I greatly appreciate it if you decided to actually stick through this and watch it with me. If you want to see more content like this, if you want to see me like at least every once in a while take a really cool list that's done well in a challenge or done well in a tournament and share it with you all, please comment and let me know how you feel. Your communication with me is what helps me know what you guys want from me as my audience, and your opinions matter to me so very much. So with that, this was a really fun video to do, and I'm really excited about the Spotlight Series. If any of you are planning on being at Spotlight Series Planetary Rotation, it's in Orlando. I'd love to see you guys, so just let me know in the comments, and I'll have a big shirt with my logo on it, so I won't be hard to find, and hopefully I'll do really well and I'll end up on camera and you guys can watch me there. So we'll see. But with that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please take a quick moment to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, help me get to my goal of 2,000 subscribers. You guys are so awesome. Thank you for your time, and I'll catch you in the next one.